Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Cheese Room podcast. Joining me today, I've got, as ever, HG. How are you today, HG?
Yeah, no one's here to talk to me. I'm fine, but let's move on.
Okay, good to have you with us. And Fabrizio, man of Here We Go and all the transfer news. Welcome to the Cheese Room.
Hi guys. Super pleasure to be together, and thank you again for the invitation. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, nice to have you on. So, firstly, thanks for joining us. Please do like, subscribe, and share this stream as we go through. Just to let you know, we won't be taking any super chat questions today because we are on a tight schedule. But if you do want to leave comments in the chat, we will have a go at answering them after the show. So, firstly, Fabrizio, obviously a fantastic game last night. In terms of outgoings for Spurs, is there any updates? So, we've heard the likes of Chiellini potentially going back to Italy, and Dembele moving to Roma, Dele, Matt Doherty, Bergwijn, some of the rumours. Is there any movement on any outgoings for us?
No, I also hear a lot of stories, but a lot of these stories are not correct. Chiellini is staying till the end of the season, I'm told. So I don't see anything happening for him, also because Roma have Rui Patricio, goalkeeper, so they don't need it. Also, for Ndombele, Roma are not going to make any proposal, also because they signed Sergio Oliveira. So at the moment, is everything really quiet with Italian market and Tottenham talking about the outgoings. For Ndombele, they are looking for a solution. So for Chiellini, I see him staying till the end of the season. But for Ndombele, I think they will be looking for a solution. They are looking for a solution. It's not easy because of the salary. So Italian market is really complicated for him. Also Napoli rumors, I'm told, more than difficult. And let's see if they will be able to find another solution. But for Ndombele, it's important to find a way. For Dele Alli, they're looking for potential swap deals. So let's see if maybe next week they will be able to find a way. As of now, it's still quiet, but next week could be the right moment to find a solution for Dele. Bergwijn, everything changed after the crazy game of yesterday. And, last year, something close happened to Antonio Conte. Christian Eriksen was never playing with Inter as a starter. He wanted to leave the club. He was close to join Tottenham on loan. I still remember Tottenham and Leicester were interested in him, and Conte was open to let him go. Then he played in a derby game, Inter AC Milan. He scored a goal on a free kick, and he started to be a key player for Inter. Everything changed in 24 hours. I'm sure that these two goals from Bergwijn are going to maybe change the situation, because Tottenham were asking for 25 million. Ajax submitted a proposal for 15 million euros for Bergwijn, but Tottenham said no to this proposal. And so I think it's not going to be easy for Ajax to pay 25 million or for Tottenham to say yes to any proposal after the crazy game they had yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
Fab, can I ask, you mentioned about swap deals involving Dele. Do you know any teams that might be interested in getting him from us?
At the moment, it's about English clubs, but it's nothing advanced, to be honest. So I'm not mentioning clubs because there is not like one or two clubs in advanced talks. It's Fabio Paratici who is working like this, exploring the market for swap deals, and so making some inquiries around for potential opportunities that could be interesting for the player and for Tottenham. But we are not yet at stages we can say that they are in advanced talks. I'm sure that next week will be the right moment to understand if Dele is leaving or not, and what could be the best opportunity for him on the market.
Okay. Moving to players coming in then. So is there an update on Vlahovic? Arsenal have been linked, but is there any update on him?
It's still the same situation. It's true that Arsenal are really interested in Vlahovic and they want him for January window, but at the same point, from player side since October, it's still the same. He wants to wait for the summer. He wants to bring Fiorentina back to European football, and then in the summer leave the club and pick the best solution for his future. So at the moment, he knows about Arsenal interest. Arsenal have great relationship with Fiorentina, but it's still an open race also for Tottenham, for Atletico Madrid, and for many other clubs in the summer, Arsenal included, because the player wants to decide in the summer. Then you can never say never in the market. Maybe Arsenal will be able to change his mind in the coming few days and paying a lot of money to him and to his agent. You can do it, but at the moment it's still quiet, with Vlahovic expected to stay till the end of the season.
Okay. And is there a Dybala update? Obviously, he's only got 6 months left on his deal, I believe, at Juventus. Is there any possibility of doing a deal in January for him, or is that something we should keep an eye on?
No, Dybala in January is 100% staying at Juventus. 100%, I'm sure. I saw some rumors about Tottenham in January, but it's not going to happen. Let's see in the summer. I know the link is easy because of Fabio Paratici, who was the Juventus director, because of Antonio Conte, who knows Dybala so well, was never working with Dybala, but knows the player so well. But at the same point, I'm told that Tottenham are not working to sign Dybala as free agent as of today. So I don't want to say anything like Dybala and Tottenham, there are negotiations. No, at the moment, no. For January, impossible. For the summer, we will see. But at the moment, Tottenham are not working to sign Paulo Dybala.
Okay, thanks. Fab, just to stick in Italy for a couple of more players, the Torino striker Andrea Bellotti is in a similar situation, almost out of contract. And also the other Juventus player, Kulusevski, we see him linked in England quite a lot with Spurs, probably for the same reasons. Can you update us on either of those two?
No, about Kulusevski, it's true that there is an interest because Fabio Paratici signed him from Parma to Juventus when he was Juventus director. He likes the player and he's not performing at top level at Juventus. So Tottenham are among clubs interested in Kulusevski, as also other English clubs. But at the same point, the problem is the value, because Juventus are not accepting any loan move for Kulusevski. They want money and a permanent move, around 35 million euros. It's the same that happened with Weston McKennie in the summer. Tottenham are only interested in potential loan deal. And in the summer for McKennie, it was a no from Juventus for a loan. And so Tottenham decided to leave the conversation. Same for Kulusevski at the moment for January window. Juventus want 35 million and Tottenham are only interested in a potential loan move. So this is why at the moment it's absolutely quiet on Kulusevski. And we have to see if maybe the situation could change in the final week of the window. But I think with the injury of Federico Chiesa, Juventus need this winger, need this player. They can't accept for him to leave on loan. And so I think it's going to be complicated for Tottenham. And the other name you mentioned? Sorry, I forgot.
Bellotti, Andrea Bellotti.
Bellotti could be a possibility, could be an option. At the moment, I'm told that there are no negotiations with Tottenham, but Fabio Paratici is so good to keep secret things till the end, not for January window, to be honest, but for summer window as free agent, it could be a chance. He received a proposal from Toronto together with Lorenzo Insigne to join Toronto and MLS in the summer. He has some possibilities also in Italy, so it's still an open race. Nothing has been decided by Bellotti. He will be leaving Torino as a free agent. Let's see if for Tottenham will be a chance. I don't see it like a priority, to be honest. So it's not something that they're working right now, but could be an option in the summer.
Okay. Two more from me. So we hear lots about Adama Traore. So is that close or potentially going to happen? And Frank Kessie is the other one.
Yes, talking about I said Frank Kessie, the interest from Tottenham is genuine. They like the player. It's not only Tottenham, let me say, also other English clubs, Spanish clubs, keeping tabs on Kessie's situation because at the moment he has still no agreement with AC Milan to extend the contract. I think for January window is going to be super difficult. Two reasons. The first one is key player for AC Milan. And AC Milan are struggling when Kessie is out. They need him till the end of the season. So I think it's going to be super difficult to sign him in January. And also because the player is at the Africa Cup. So, it's not easy to complete the negotiation while he's playing with his national team, with Ivory Coast. So this is why the situation is not super easy for January. But I'm sure that if Kessie will leave AC Milan as free agent, I say if because at the moment it's not 100% decided yet that he's not extending the contract. It's a serious possibility, but it's not 100% decided yet. If he will leave as free agent, I'm sure that Tottenham will be in the race for Kessie in the summer. But at the moment, it's not something agreed or close. And for Adama, he's the big name that Tottenham want to sign in January. So they're working on Adama since a long time. Paratici wanted him at Juventus. Antonio Conte is always doing an incredible job with wingers. You saw with Bergwijn, Lucas Moura is doing great. I'm sure that Reguilon will become one of the best left backs in the world with Antonio. This manager is special with wingers, and he wants Adama Traore because, for example, Hakimi was performing at Super League with him at Inter. He wants this kind of player, offensive winger with this kind of skills. But the real problem on Adama deal is the manager of Wolves, Bruno Lage, because he wants Adama to stay till the end of the season. He hopes for Adama to stay and to fight for Wolves. So, it's not an easy one at the moment, but I'm sure that Tottenham will try again. They're trying for a loan with an option to sign the player in the summer, or maybe an obligation. It depends on the negotiation. So I would keep the name of Adama for Tottenham till the end of the window because they will try again. But I don't see it as an easy negotiation at the moment.
Okay.
All right. Now, we saw a report in Canada yesterday about the Lille striker Jonathan David, that apparently Spurs were following his situation. We all know that Spurs need strikers, right? So it's not a surprise that we're being linked to these big young names. Do you know anything about Jonathan David's situation in France?
No, the information being reported is correct. Tottenham are among clubs interested in Jonathan David. There is also Arsenal. I think Arsenal and Tottenham are in a similar situation for strikers. Both need strikers. If it's not in January, it's going to be in the summer. And so Jonathan David is one of the players that both clubs are watching and following, not just Tottenham and Arsenal. So it's absolutely open race. Also because the value of the player is changing. A few months ago it was around 35 million. Now I'm told that it's around 50 million, no less than this. And so it's not going to be an easy deal, an easy negotiation. For January window, impossible. The player is staying at Lille. For summer, it could be one of the names for Tottenham, Arsenal, and other clubs. So I would keep his name also because he's a really talented player. He would be perfect for Antonio Conte kind of ideas of the strikers. So we mentioned Kulusevski, we mentioned also other kind of players, but I think Jonathan David is close to what Antonio Conte needs for his kind of perfect striker.
Okay, that's good to know.
Absolutely. Pau Torres has been a name that's been linked with Spurs through the window. Is there a possibility to do business there?
Yes, I'm sure that they will keep following him because Paratici works like this if he likes a player, and he was the main target in the summer as centre-back after, of course, Cristian Romero. But Pau Torres was in the list, in high position in the list. He will keep following Pau Torres. A lot will depend on European competition because Pau Torres wants to play the Champions League. He's playing the Champions League with Villarreal, and this is the reason why he was not super convinced of Tottenham last summer because of Champions League football. He wants to play Champions League football. So if Tottenham will be in the Champions League, it could be a possibility. If not, it's going to be maybe complicated. But Pau Torres is a player they're following. He's a player that Paratici appreciates, and so I will keep his name in the list. It's not only Tottenham also in this case. Of course, we are in January, so we'll see what happens in the summer. But I'm sure that Pau Torres will be one of the big names in the window in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting that we're talking about moves in January, and yet everyone seems to be waiting until the summer because that's when most people want to do business. It makes sense.
Yes.
But there, those players that Conte knows well, like Marcelo Brozovic at Inter, we often see people put one and one together and hope that Conte will they assume that he will want his old players because he trusts them. And midfield has been a bit of a problem for Spurs. Do you think Brozovic might be interested either now or in the summer especially?
I'm told that for Brozovic, the contract extension with Inter is really one step away. It's just a matter of details, and they hope to announce everything within January or February. So I think it's going to be complicated. It's true that Antonio Conte has a special relationship, in particular with Inter players, because it was a fantastic group. He created something really special, also in the relationship with the players, and not just on the pitch. Brozovic is a fantastic player and would be perfect for Tottenham. Same for other players that are mentioned, but first of all, nothing is going to happen in January. Inter are not going to accept any proposal for Brozovic or De Vrij. I also saw reports on De Vrij and Skriniar. These players are not leaving in January. But in the summer, for Brozovic, I still see him extend the contract with Inter. At the moment, it's really close. Let's see what happens with other players that Conte had with Inter. But it's not going to be easy because they have a big value,
I think Dembele from Barcelona seems to have burnt a lot of bridges with the club. Is there any possibility he could be looking at moving to the Premier League, maybe Tottenham?
Barcelona want to move immediately in January. They said with the sport director Matteo Alemani, so they want to move Dembele immediately. I'm told that Dembele and his agent are looking for a move in the summer and not in January. So it's a big fight between Dembele and Barcelona. It's a really complicated situation. Premier League clubs are keeping tabs on him. I can tell you that Fabio Paratici wanted Dembele at Juventus. It was a few years ago. Was trying to sign Dembele for Juventus. Then the deal collapsed. But Juventus were playing with wingers. In this case, with 3-5-2. I'm not so sure that this is the perfect system for Dembele. He's for a three attacking players with wingers. He's a completely different player. So I'm not 100% sure that he's kind of player that Tottenham are looking for. Newcastle made a proposal to him, but at the moment the player is still waiting to see what is the best solution. We will see, because I don't see a Dembele move in January, to be honest. I think it's going to be difficult in January. Barca are pushing for that move, but it's not going to be easy.
So, I hear you talking about 3-5-2 for Tottenham, and I know that lots of Spurs fans have thought that maybe that would work best for Spurs because we haven't really seen it that much under Conte. Do you see a 3-5-2 being the perfect Conte system?
Yes, to be honest, yes. I think it's going to be difficult for Antonio to change. Or you have a player like Eden Hazard at Chelsea that is completely changing your ideas because he's a completely different level of a player, so you can understand the change. But at the same point, I'm sure that Antonio will continue with 3-5-2. His ideas have always been with 3-5-2, with Italy, with Inter, with Juventus, with Chelsea also, till he had Eden Hazard to change something. But I still see Tottenham going with 3-5-2 also for the future. Also because the idea is to keep Harry Kane at the club and to sign another striker to play together. Conte is always working with two physical strikers, as he did with Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku at Inter, and they were incredible. They won the league because of the strikers. So I'm sure that the idea will be to continue with 3-5-2.
Okay. Well, we're nearly done for today, Fabrizio. Just a couple of quick questions, if I may. We hear a lot about the relationship between Conte and the board. Is all well in paradise at the moment?
No,
at
it's
Spurs?
all good. He's all good. He's all good. Yes. Get used to Antonio, because when he's not first in the table and with the trophy in his hands, he's not happy. So he's never going to be happy with this kind of situation. Never. But it doesn't mean that he has problems with the board. Absolutely no.
Okay. And just from, you are the master of the transfer predicting. How many players do you think Spurs will get over the line this January? Where will we hear a "here we go" this January?
I hope like 2 opportunities could be the right one. I would say 1 or 2 new signings. I was expecting 3, but then with the difficulties they're having with the outgoings, it's not easy. Well, let's see if the situation will change next week with some players leaving. We mentioned Dele and the others. Maybe the situation could change. So I would say 1 or 2 new signings, yes.
And just finally, is there anyone we missed off our list who is linked with us that's close?
No, at the moment, no. But maybe some surprises could arrive next week, because Paratici works like this. Many times he's working on 3 different players, and then the name is coming in the last 24 hours. So let's see what happens. But I'm not saying that they will do some surprising signing, but that with Paratici, you never know what happens.
Fabrizio, you've been an absolute gentleman. Thanks very much for coming on the show today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Thank you, absolutely.
Big grilled.
Well, a super pleasure. Thank you.
And HG again, once again, thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, the like, and the share. And in the meantime, until next time, tomorrow night, come on, you Spurs.